All right, let's go into Photoshop for a minute. What we want to do is pull out Astronaut Woz and get him ready for our one-page flyer about the Space Shuttle Endeavour. So, need my layers real quick. As you can see, I've got one layer. It's just a big old background layer. And I'm going to make a very quick selection of him and his fabulous helmet. Okay. Just using the quick select tool. Looks pretty good. Now, the simplest way to do this so that you can have a text wrap in InDesign is to save this as an alpha channel. Now you may be like, oh my God, I don't know what that is. All an alpha channel is saving the marching ants. That's all it is. You are not saving pixel information. You are saving the information about the selection. And it's very, very simple. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to first go to Select, Save Selection, and then call this Woz and hit OK. And then if I look at my channels, you will now see that there is just, and this is your alpha channel, just that selection. That's all it is these marching ants. Okay? And I'm also going to go back here and go Layer, New Layer via Copy because I want to show you some different import options. There you go. So this file now has two layers, a background and a layer via copy, and an alpha channel. And all I did to save that was with my selection, go to Select, Save Selection. So let's shut this down, save it as a PSD in our Images folder for our exercise, and hit Save. Okay. Next thing we do is go back over to our working file. All of this space around the file, it's like workspace. You can put stuff over there. When you hit W, that shows you your actual document without any of the guidelines or anything that's on your workspace. So you can hit W to go back and forth, or you can go over here to Preview, Bleed, Slug, and Presentation. I like to just use W to go back and forth between Preview and Presentation. So very quickly, I had forgotten my bleeds. I'm going to go back to File, Document Setup, More Options, and add my bleed here, 0.25. Hit Tab for it to go all the way across. Make sure that I've got everything else I've got, one page. I also forgot to add a column, so I'm going to go to Layout, Margins and Columns, and add another column there. Perfect. And then I'm going to make a graphic box in the corner that bleeds. So it goes all the way to the red line around, which is the bleed line. The black line is the page line. Command D is my shortcut for placing an image. With this graphic box selected with the X in it, I'm going to go to Space Walter. Show Import Options. Make sure that you have that checked. Now, you can do image, color, or layers. You could just say, hey, I just want Woz. And there are ways that you could work around a text wrap. But you know what's even easier is just hit image. We saved an alpha channel and hit OK. And then get his little head, stick him in the corner because he's very nautical. And then when we bring our text box, I want to make a text box that overlaps him. The text box, however, I don't want to go all the way to the page. I'm going to go pretty close to the margins. Command V to cut and paste some information about the Pope and make that a little larger. Then I would like to make sure that this text wrapped all the way around the image of Space Walter. So I need to select Space Walter, not the text. Go to the text wrap, hit the second one, wrap around bounding box, and as you'll notice, it's wrapping around the bounding box. I can do wrap around object shape, which is also not giving us what we want. And then you've got jump twos. So I'm going to hit the second one, the third one, wrap around object shape, wrap options just to the right, contour options, alpha channel. And it will, where did all my text go? There's a lot more about Il Papa. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm sorry, because I have it. Get over here. There we go. All right. And now what's cool is you can also give it a little bit of cushion so that the image, it's not all the way up onto the image. You can give it a little bit of cushion there, and it will form to the shape of the image. Okay? If we hit W, it looks pretty good. Now we still have this red plus over here, which is to remind us that when we click on it, it will load the cursor with the additional text that we need to include, and we could draw that text box anywhere throughout our article. We could have them be several different sizes. Okay. I believe we know that this is this an orphan or a widow? Orphan. There you go. So that is how you can wrap around an image with a alpha channel. To wrap around an image like this, let's make another text box. Oops, sorry, that was a graphic box. Command V. All right. Select the image, which is our little sun. Excuse me. Get your text wrap. And then we can do wrap to the right side, wrap to the left side. And that acts as a much more kind of traditional, let's move those over here where we can see them together. Oops. Perfect. Okay. Hit W. Doesn't show because this is on our scratch board. Okay. But that was doing just a shape with an Illustrator and just wrapping it around very clear, very simply to the side and then below it. Because this is such a complicated shape and it's also bleeding off the page, that alpha channel seemed like a better selection. So that kind of clears that up and also shows us some different import options.